Hey guys, welcome back to EDC Gunner's channel. I'm EDC Gunner, and today we're gonna talk about 5 cool new watches you can get for under 4,000 US dollars. So this is the territory when you are probably buying your first serious watch, and you are looking at the watches, and I would definitely buy pre-owned used watches this price range, because these watches can be double in price when bought new. And on the used market, this is the place when you buy a watch and you won't be losing money. At least you won't be losing half of your money. So I always like to buy used watches, because that way I can always get my money back, or at least most of my money get back, and at the same time enjoy the watch. And I want a new watch, I can sell it and be good. But I picked 5 watches, pre-owned watches. I used Chrono 24 as a price reference, because some people say no way you can get that watch for that money. Well, I will show you on Chrono 24 you can get it, but keep in mind price is always subject to change, because these watches and watch market is always oscillating. And right now the watches are going on the up. I remember a couple years ago you can get a sports steel Rolex for under a 4K, or for a 4K roughly, and nowadays you definitely cannot. So I picked 5 watches that I would be getting, and I would be looking at getting at this price range. And I also picked relatively sporty watches, more versatile watches, whatever you like to call it, for I think it's a nice requirement for a first serious watch, because I would want it to wear it daily, definitely. So when you drop that kind of money on your watch, I want to wear it every day. I want it to be more versatile, more robust, and more waterproof. So without further ado, let's just jump into the list. So before we start with the list, I just want to emphasize once more that this is not a definite list. Of course, it can look different tomorrow or next week, or for you or for Joe, but I just picked 5 watches which are relatively sporty, versatile, which I think is a nice requirement for a first serious watch. And looking at myself, I would want to wear it daily. So first watch as a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. You can't do much wrong with pre-owned Breitling. Solid sporty watches, long history, good quality. Super Ocean Automatic Heritage is a no-nonsense diver watch. It might become your companion for life, even if you decide to buy more watches afterwards, perhaps even with much higher price tags. Super Ocean will still find your wrist once in a while, and Breitling was my first luxury watch, and there's a lots of people who don't know better, who think Breitling just makes bigger, oversized watches. Of course, not every watch from Breitling is for me. However, the Super Ocean Heritage is one of my favorite from the line, and the watch is available in 42 millimeters, which is great size, 44 or 46. The 46 is actually quite big, and I would definitely urge you to try it on before you buy it. 42 millimeter is a safe size for a watch like this though. Super Ocean, it comes on a rubber band, but also on a steel mesh bracelet, and I would definitely get it on a steel bracelet, especially for daily use. And if you like the rubber, you can add it on later. It's definitely cheaper to buy a rubber band than the stainless steel one. Also, inside you have various Breitling calibers, and most of them are based on ETA calibers, and the newer one with the in-house movement. But it's great watches, great heritage, great brand, and definitely one of my favorites. Second watch on the list is the Omega Speedmaster Professional Moon Watch. No introduction. This watch needs no introduction, but if you do, then I suggest you do your research. learn all about it, then get it. But definitely get it, as it comes highly recommended from this list or any other list. I think this is the best watch on this list. It's just my personal preference. It's not as waterproof as any other watches from this list, but you can see this moon watch in any collection, from high-end to low-end collections. I've seen collection from Seiko's that has a moon watch, and collection with Patek Philippe that has a moon watch, and it has so much history. And I'm not gonna talk too much about Omega moon watch. Just get it. Don't get the reduced, don't get any others, just get a classic one, professional moon watch, and you will be good to go. Next watch on the list is Tudor Black Bay, and Tudor Black Bay is a sister company of Rolex. They are Rolex brand, they're manufactured by Rolex, and they have a cool quirky designs we all wish Rolex did, but they decided to use a Tudor for that. And on the used market, Tudor is a great brand to pick up, especially because of the styling, the value, and they have a retro designs, precise technology, Rolex technology. First models for ETA versions, now they have in-house, lots of different variations. Snowflake hands, some people love it, some people hate it, but it's definitely one of the distinctive features of these watches. So that's always a good thing for me when I see a watch across the room and I can recognize what it is. And lots of different versions, including bronze version, GMT version, burgundy bezel, blue bezel, green bezel, black bezel, of course. And whatever you pick up, this watch is a great value. New, there is even a chronograph version, which is a bit out of this price range, but they are column view chronograph with the in-house movement, and they're definitely worth it. But Tudor Black Bay comes strongly recommended by me in this price range. Another Tudor on this list is Tudor Power Gas, one of my personal favorite watches. You can get, they are pretty much the same like a Black Bay, except they are in titanium, and they look differently. They look modern with just a little hint of retro design. While Tudor Black Bay is more of a vintage wannabe watch, Tudor Power Gas stands on its own, and that's why I prefer it over the Black Bay, but it's just about the looks. One thing you have to notice Tudor Power Gas is titanium watch. When I first wanted to get a Power Gas, I had a bit reservation against a titanium, but once I got it, everything fell into the water. This is the first titanium watch that came out of the Rolex factory, and this watch is definitely it. You don't even notice it's titanium. That's how cool it is, except it's a bit more lightweight. It has excellent home, the bezel, the glide lock bracelet, you can adjust it. It's revolutionary watch, and I love the design of it more. It comes in black and blue, and it's just one of those great watches. Also, ET versions and the newer one in-house are available. You can get it used, and they are made by Rolex, but they are on its own, and I love Tudor Power Gas. So the last watch I'm gonna recommend is another Omega, and this time Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters, the James Bond dive watch. And this watch, it came out in the 90s, early in the 90s. Later on, they decided to put it on James Bond wrist, and the rest is history. This watch, it hasn't much changed during the years, so whether you pick up one from the 90s, the half ceramic one, the newer ceramic one that came out this year, you will do no wrong. I had lots of reservations against this watch until I got one and wore it, and it instantly became one of my favorite watches. And this is Omega's entry-level diver, but I think it's the most iconic alongside with the Moonwatch. This watch, newer versions came out with the ceramic dial, the big wave dial. If you don't like that, you can get the previous version with just a ceramic bezel, or the quartz versions. But I think this is one of those watches that is classic for so many years, and I think it will remain a classic. So definitely this is the last watch on my list. In no particular order did I come up with this list. These are the watches that just sprung to my mind. I do this all the time, and I feel in this list you just need to decide what works best for you. Any of these watches I would be happy to have and wear and to add to my collection. You can add all of these watches and you would be having one hell of a collection in your possession. And Omega Seamaster Diver 300 meters James Bond Omega is definitely worthy watch of your hard-earned dollars.